So here you can see the rib cage. Remember that the ribs and the intercostal muscles help with breathing, and so does the diaphragm. So this entire thing down here, all of this is the diaphragm.
The white and the red?
Mm-hmm. That's kind of like the membranous part, and then here's the diaphragm as well. Okay. So you see the lungs, and you notice this lung here has the cardiac notch, and then you have the fissures. So this is the oblique fissure on this side, and the oblique fissure on this side, and then the horizontal fissure. So then your lobes, superior lobe and inferior lobe, and then middle lobe for this guy. So over here you see the same kind of thing, ribs, intercostals, diaphragm. You can see the whole diaphragm down here, but on top of the diaphragm they also show you the pleural membrane. So you can see the parietal pleural, and you can see how it expands and goes up against the rib cage. Then you have the cardiac notch, which is presented a little differently because you see the lung kind of being on top of the heart, and then the fissures again. So this is the oblique, and here's the horizontal, and then there's the oblique back here. This guy has the same thing. You can see the ribs and the intercostals down here. The diaphragm is not as clear, but you see it attached to the bottom of the lungs. Oops. So you can see that there. And you also see the pleural membrane. So if you look really closely, there is a cavity. So you can kind of see the parietal versus the visceral versus the parietal membrane. Okay. And then again, you have the same lung features and the horizontal fissures. So now if we look at what's inside, well, this one gives the whole lung here. So you can see the hilus where the bronchi and the blood vessels come in. Here's a little bit more of the pleural membrane. And then you can just see the different lobes of the lung. Over on this side, you see the carina where the trachea splits. And then here's the primary bronchus, then another split secondary bronchus, then another split tertiary bronchi, and it keeps getting smaller and smaller. So technically these are the small bronchi, but if you say bronchioles, that's okay too. So you can call those bronchioles. Okay. Now this one is a little more technical in terms of showing you the divisions of the bronchi. So when you remove the heart, you can see the carina, and then the split of the primary bronchi, and the next split here, that's where you create your secondary bronchi. And then the next split, you have your tertiary bronchi, and it just keeps splitting smaller and smaller until you see the bronchioles. But each one of these colors is a different segment of the lung. So it pertains to a different segment. The other thing that you see here is the esophagus. You can see how the esophagus crosses through on the other side of the diaphragm. And then this guy shows similar stuff, but not as detailed. What they're emphasizing is the blood vessels. So you have the pulmonary, remember that in red, the pulmonary veins, and in blue, the pulmonary arteries. And you can see the division of the bronchi again till you get to the very, very end of the bronchioles. And the hilum. So the hilum is this depression where the bronchi and the blood vessels come in. And that's it for that.